All right, now this. The American dream is shrinking. Builders now ditching dining rooms, separate living rooms, and even bathtubs to help buyers on a budget as the median house price soars now past $400,000 with mortgage rates at a 23-year high. That makes affordability pretty tough for most folks. Let's bring in our panel now. Doug Holtz-Eakin, former CBO director and president of American Action Forum, and Robert Wolf, former Obama economic advisor and a Fox News contributor. Welcome to both of you. Great to have you. It's something we've been talking on this program a lot about. And as I always remind everybody, for most Americans, owning a home will be the single largest asset they'll ever acquire in their lives, many of which will stay in them for quite some time. So, Doug, what is happening here? Are we seeing the American dream shrinking? I mean, at least with these housing sizes, that is happening. They're charging the same amount, and you're getting less.
Well, you adjust on the margins you can, and this is a very tough environment. You can't really look for apartments. Apartment rents are going up at over 5% a year still. We've got high interest rates. We got, the fallout of the great overstimulus, which has left us with inflation and real wages that are down 6% since the start of the Biden administration. So what margin do you have left to make it cheaper? Well, shrink the house. And that's what they're doing.
That's really interesting. The Wall Street Journal is writing about the goodbye to the bathtub in the living room. Robert, America's homes are shrinking. Smaller homes, they write, can help cost-constrained buyers facing high mortgage rates. They also boost the bottom line for builders who are contending with spiraling labor and construction costs. And that's a really interesting concept because we've had folks like that, plumbers, carpenters, we've had them on this network and beyond, saying it's hard to find work right now. The demand's out there, but they can't find the skilled workers to fill it. So what are we seeing happening with the housing market? And is this sort of a shrinking part of the American dream, Robert?
You know, Sandra, you've been spot on this for a few months now, if not longer. And I went back and looked at something, and there's a phenomenon that I'm saying that I'm not sure I've seen in my 40 years in finance. We have new home sales up over 35% year on year, 30%, where majority of them are first-time buyers. We have existing sales almost down 20%, much larger market over the past year. So I think to Douglas's point and your point, what we're seeing is there's just a complete lack of mobility for those with existing homes because of where they are in their interest rates. So a lot of them have 5, 10, 30-year interest rates at a low price. So there's no mobility for them to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so now you have new home buyers where, as you said, wages are tougher and home prices are higher. So they have to find ways to cut costs. I have not seen this kind of, lack of correlation between existing and new homes. I don't know, Douglas, as an economist, he may have a better insight, but probably not until since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on here, Doug.
Right.
I'll let you respond to that while I put these pictures up, because these were published in the Wall Street Journal, and then we went to the website of this builder as well to grab more. Estridge Homes, this is a semi-custom new home builder. They operate in near Indianapolis. They recently launched this new neighborhood concept with detached homes, 300 to 500 square feet smaller, 50 to 75,000 cheaper than it typically builds. They're in some cases, this is what they're doing. They're expanding the kitchen area. They're taking away the dining room altogether in some cases. They're taking out like bathtubs. You'll still have the bathrooms, but it won't be as big. And what they're doing is it's much smaller lots to save on the cost as well. And they're increasing landscaping to try to provide privacy because you're really smushed in there in a lot of cases. But is this the way we're going, Doug?
Well, I think Robert's onto something. I mean, if you think about how the home market was for a while, builders were building big homes. They were building small starter homes for first-time buyers. They could make a lot more money on a big house. But now all of those potential buyers are in a house with a low interest rate mortgage from the past couple of years, and they're not giving up that house and not putting it on the market, and they're not buying anything. So they've had to move to building starter homes, and to make them affordable, it's a recipe we've seen before. You have to increase the density. Often we try to do apartments. These are single-family detached, but they're smaller lots. They're smaller houses, so they don't cost as much. And that's where the builder can now make a sale. And it's the only market available to them. Yeah,
and the Estridge builder is talking about the two big demographics. They're getting entry-level buyers but they're also getting the empty nesters. The Wall Street Journal highlights a couple who downsized from a 7,000 square foot home into one of those 3,400 square foot semi-custom model homes that you just saw there. In the furniture market, Robert, I mean, it's really fascinating when you dig into this. They're adapting to this new normal in the housing market. They're making much smaller furniture as well. Final thought from you, Robert.
Yeah, listen, I think that we haven't really seen this shift, and I'm really nervous about the resale value of the future of these type of homes, like you said, the smaller ones that are on top of each other and they're all improvising, because that's still the best asset someone has usually of their wealth, right? As you said, it's their American dream. And I think that, you know, we're in a very nervous environment with this.
I mean, you can ask people all over the country right now, if you need to move, you're really hesitant to because you're in a home that you got into in a free money environment. To leave to pay 7-8% interest rate. I mean, that's game changing. So the number one thing you hear from realtors, there's no inventory. People are not leaving their homes right now. It is a fascinating dynamic that is happening. Thank you so much to both of you. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you.
All right, John?